So hi Al. Hello to all listening and welcome to this interview with Al Gerrie from ZigZag. It's Graham Broughton here, the Managing Director from Europe for We Are Pentagon, the global marketplace experts. And we're in the ZigZag offices today in Holborn, and we've gone from we're looking through an interview today to talk through how ZigZag affects the returns and logistics parts of the e-commerce journey. So first off, Al, thanks very much for your time today, and I massively appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule, because I know whenever I see you on LinkedIn or we have a conversation, you're always flying from America or Brazil, so massive appreciation. Are you taking notes on how many flights you've done this year at all?
I've clocked up a few thousand air miles just this month.
And do you think you'll be able to upgrade to first class by the end of the year as well?
No, we travel economy.
Passing the savings back to the clients.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Yeah. So obviously I know a lot about the business, but it'd be really good to understand a bit more about you, your background specifically, and then how ZigZag came about and where we are currently today with ZigZag as well.
Yeah, sure. So we're about 4 years old as a company, and we originally founded the business to help retailers manage returns. So I'm about 20 years in retail. I've worked as head of multi-channel for Mountain Warehouse and Office Shoes and various other high street retailers as a consultant. And I originally came up against the returns problem as a consumer as much as anything, and really had a look at see what was on the market, and other solutions out there just didn't really solve the problem. So we founded ZigZag to genuinely help retailers manage their returns on a global scale.
Okay, so you've had first-hand experience basically.
Yeah, we've got over 200 warehouses now in 195 countries. We've also got a number of different couriers on the platform that we support, and obviously plugged into marketplaces through Pentagon.
Yes, perfect. So 4 years in, how's the journey been? Is it been a growth in terms of the contacts? Is it more of the fact that now that the returns is being a vital part of kind of the ecosystem in terms of going online? How has the kind of the engagement piece been over the past 4 years?
So I think when we first started, returns we were early. We were very early in the space, but now we're finding that returns are a hot topic, and they're forefront of mind for some retailers, also for couriers. A lot of couriers weren't even offering returns a few years ago, and now they need to offer returns as part of their overall solution. So we white label our solution for various different couriers, as well as working directly with retailers.
Okay. In terms of, so when we talk to brands and retailers, normally the conversation is geared around kind of what price points, what territories to sell in, what product listings should look like, how they optimize their content, what the customer anticipation is. I think it's really interesting from your perspective in the fact that you're looking at it wholly from the returns aspect, and I think it's something that potentially brands and retailers forget about, that actually it's an informed part of the conversion rate decision for a customer. So what's your experience in terms of how that applies to a product surfacing or a product listing, and how the returns process sits in there?
We know that returns are now more important than price. So 76% of buyers check the returns policy before they make a purchasing decision. We've seen that consumers are frequently more concerned about speed of refund as well. So particularly for the younger buyers that are buying maybe 3 or 4 things and will send 1 or 2 back because they're buying with the intention of returning a product. So consumer behaviour has shifted. Companies like Amazon and Zalando have now changed the market forever, I think, by offering free returns for all. That's shifted consumer expectation. And
that's really interesting, because as a customer wants to receive their products, they also want to get their cash back quickly. And I know one of the innovative things about ZigZag is the kind of centralisation in that stock, and that intelligent rerouting of the stock and rerouting of the stock. It depends if you're from America or from the UK.
Yeah.
Can you just touch on that a little bit more for us, and what's really innovative about ZigZag and how it utilises that and surfaces those stock?
Yeah, so it's very much a localised solution. It's available in 35 different languages. A customer would go onto a returns portal, they would see a copy of their order, they would then choose the item they want to return and the reason why. So we're collecting lots of good data around who, what, where, when and why, and we also know how they want to send it back. So they can choose to send it back by post, by courier, by locker, and it could be a collection from home. Then the goods come into a local warehouse and we scan and grade those. The customer can be refunded on the same day as they drop the goods off in the post. So it's really speeding up that time that the customer has to wait for their refund. And then the goods can be resold through a marketplace from that local market. So it means we don't always have to bring the goods back. We could actually hold and resell through Pentagon's merchant record solution, plugged into things like Amazon, and actually restock the product immediately and then resell it to the next consumer that buys the goods.
So there's obviously a stock visibility that the retailer is helping with. There's the speed in terms of the refund from the consumer as well. There's probably a carbon reduction in terms of having that locally. There's also a reshipment rather than it being sent out from the UK. Then if it's been sent back to Germany and it gets resold into Germany, again there's probably a slightly quicker way of getting that item. So there's multiple ways and factors where the actual returns is a benefit to the client and also to the retailer. That's really interesting. In terms of kind of a significant impact on one of your clients that you've been working with, can you share how that's, you talked about kind of that data gathering, is it, can you talk us through a scenario where that's really impacting them, they've gone, wow, this is amazing, why didn't I do this much earlier?
So we work with large retailers like Selfridges, Arcadia, so Topshop, Gap, and we white label our solution for people like DHL. The typical savings that we've seen are around 57% on the postage costs, and also for the retailer saving about 40% on their customer service costs.
Wow.
Because they haven't got to manually process the returns. There's less customers phoning up and asking, where's my refund, because they've already been refunded. Mm-hmm. So we're actually really speeding up that journey, and we're cutting the amount of time the product spends off sale down to, typically it may have been over a month before using ZigZag, down to just a few days.
That's amazing, and again it's that customer experience. They've got a better customer experience, and the retailer is saving costs, and they can put that into new products, developments, new technology. Okay, so in terms of when retailers are thinking about taking their sales online and going cross-border, what do you think are the main points that they should be considering in terms of going into, so they're selling domestically, now they're looking to selling cross-border, how would you suggest that they go on that journey or start that journey?
Definitely marketplace first. So
Okay.
I've been a retailer, and I think the marketplace offers the localization that the retailer needs. It's got traffic, it's got local recognition, it's got translations, it's got a good mobile experience, it's got payment gateway integrated, and it's got a brand that consumers can trust. So by selling on marketplaces, you can obviously generate more income and more sales in new markets that you wouldn't normally be able to reach through your own website, because the buyers aren't necessarily coming to look for you,
yes,
but the buyers are already on the marketplace.
So it's quite a nice entry level in terms of testing or phasing, in terms of a kind of a global expansion, and a way of de-risking any kind of way of spending a lot of money on sites, like say payment gateways, currency conversion, because marketplaces are an enabler to do that basically.
It's a low barrier to entry.
Yeah.
It's quick to get live on marketplaces, and you get instant traffic.
Okay, perfect. So bringing it back to kind of returns, obviously you've won, and we're sat in front of how many awards this year?
I think we've won about 7 this year.
Which is amazing, congratulations for that. So obviously you've made an impact in returns and logistics. What do you see is the kind of the next 12, 18 months, 2 years? What's the big changes? Is it customers? Is it technology? Being a thought leader in this area, what do you see as the kind of the next big thing?
I think more and more it will become about free returns, or the retailer being able to offer free returns, at least in their key markets, and that's driven by people like Amazon and Zalando, who are pushing people in that direction. But it's becoming now the customer expectation. So retailers need to keep up with the expectation, and it's all about service. So it's not unusual in a couple of years, I think, for retailers to send stuff and then have it returned on the same day, and then get instant credits back.
Okay.
Exchanges are going to become much more important for retailers as well to try and retain the money, and then so ZigZag already supports exchanges,
Okay.
and we're also providing lots of insights, so the big data around who's returning, why they're returning, how they're returning, which products are causing issues. So if there are toxic products that are frequently returned, if there are poor suppliers, poor couriers that are causing you problems, how you can identify those. And so
Brilliant.
the technology that we have just enables the retailer to have that insight that they wouldn't normally have.
That they can make informed decisions, and
Yeah.
I presume, again, going back to those kind of successful clients, they can make those informed decisions very quickly because it's almost real-time data, is it? Or
Immediate, yeah. So it's as soon as the customer's posted the goods back, we know about it, we can refund them instantly, and we can actually be selling the goods to the next customer within a day.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Okay, I think in terms of kind of the overall interview, that's fantastic. That's been brilliant for us. I always think it's great to kind of give the listeners and the viewers a few takeaway points and kind of three key pieces in terms of you're going to go and be selling online or via marketplaces. What top 3 things would you make to consider to make that a successful journey?
So I'd definitely say look at your customer service, look at your couriers and your delivery proposition to the consumers, and marketplace first is a great approach, and you can't have marketplace without having returns as well. So don't forget to invest well in your returns technology to make sure that you can complete that circle.
Fantastic, that's great. So again, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it, and good luck with the rest of the ZigZag journey.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.